Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. It seems to me at this point as though XRP is basically invincible. Even with the worst possible thing that could have happened, the SEC going after XRP getting delisted from major exchanges, it's still in the top 10 of cryptos. As I record this, it's at number 7 out of 10. But consider this also, it's actually better than it might sound on the surface because there are 2 coins above it in terms of market cap that are just stable coins. Now, historically, stable coins haven't been in the top 10. They're always worth the same amount. People don't really care about tracking them, but they printed so damn many of these things that the market cap is high. Because again, you just take the circulating supply times whatever the market rate is, which is always $1. And since they print so many of these damn things, there you are. I'll tell you what, you have enough stable coins out there and just let them print endlessly, you'll have the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap all be stable coins, let enough time pass if you don't start filtering your list a different way. And so, I don't know, I still think it would make more sense to just have the default setting not factor in stablecoins because people aren't interested in them. When you're looking at market cap, it's just you're trying to figure out how these cryptocurrencies are, they're jockeying for a position based on investor feels on them, basically. That's the metric that people want to go by. And throwing in assets that are always worth the same amount isn't really serving that purpose. But anyway, I just want to highlight XRP, even with all this nonsense going on, would be number 5 in market cap in the top 10, if not for this legal action. So think about that. We know the price action of XRP artificially suppressed, but it would still be number 5. That's insane. That means out of the over 15,000 cryptocurrencies in existence, there are only 4 with a higher market cap. That would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, and Solana. That's it. And I still think XRP would probably be number 2 or 3 at this point, if not for the fact that the SEC has done what it's done. So it looks to me, it's like XRP's freaking invincible. Look, not that I can predict, like nobody can, a decade out what things look like, but at this point, my gosh, you're throwing everything at it that could be bad, and yet it persists. It's rather impressive, is it not? And there's actually a lot of perks, too, to being in the XRP community, including airdrops. In fact, take a look. I'm not really going to read through this article, but it's worth mentioning because XRP's been performing pretty well lately, all things considered. Here's a headline from Bitcoin.com. XRP's market price gains on upcoming sologenic airdrop. XRP whales start moving millions. And so they're highlighting a bunch of activity on the XRP ledger, which is certainly a positive sign. And they're attributing some of XRP's recent positive price action to the sologenic airdrop, which I'm going to talk about more in a subsequent video. I do have some more things to say about that, so I'll save that for something else. But I will say, and I mentioned this the other day, I'm not necessarily convinced that the reason XRP's been performing as well as it has been lately is because of the sologenic airdrop, because if that were the case, then I think that individuals would also be purchasing the Solo coin, which is on the open market, has been for some time, because you get benefits doing that too. Why is only XRP behaving in a positive manner? It doesn't seem to make necessarily a lot of sense to me. And look, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and so you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All that said, though, my gosh, endless numbers of airdrops, and fine, most of them are worthless and probably won't ever do anything long-term, but there are a few that are worth taking note of. Obviously, there's Songbird, there's what's happening with Flare Network, and Sologenic. Now, as I record this, XRP's at 87 cents, Bitcoin at 48,633, market cap for the asset class 2.28 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance just a hair over 40%. And here's the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 27 out of 100, indicating that typical retail speculators are in fear. And I don't necessarily think this makes a whole lot of logical sense. If you have a sufficiently long time frame, you shouldn't be worried. And let me highlight the degree to which this is true. Here's a tweet from Dan Moorhead. I'm a fan of this guy. And he's the founder of the first cryptocurrency, I guess at the time it was specifically Bitcoin, so Bitcoin hedge fund in the United States, dating back to, I believe, 2013. He was the first one to do it with his firm, Pantera Capital, and he also happens to be pro-XRP, and he stated a year ago that he said, look, if you fast forward about a decade out, there's probably just going to be 8 to 10 blockchains, 8 to 10 cryptocurrencies that are going to be around solving various problems, and XRP is going to be one of them. So he's on record publicly as stating that. So he kind of gets the bigger picture. He's not a maximalist, and I love that, because it seems like a lot of people that are early in the space, they tend to be, a lot of them anyway, Bitcoin maxis, but not to Dan Moorhead. So check out what he had to say, though. And he also shared a graphic, which I can make full. Here, I'll just make a full screen now. It's fine. But he tweeted out the following: cryptocurrency is the most asymmetric trade in a generation. It is disrupting the biggest markets on Earth, including gold, bonds, global payments, and money. And something like 90% of institutional investors have no exposure yet. Pause to think about that. I'm not kidding. When I've told you that you should be ecstatic that you're this early to the party, you should be taking that to heart. You know, something like 3% of humans on the entire planet have ever held a cryptocurrency at any point in time, and we already have over a $2 trillion market cap. And again, 90% of institutional investors have zero exposure. And think about that. That's where the big money is. Institutional money. You know what that's going to do to supply and demand? And here we are. And so it's like, if people can't patiently wait for XRP or whatever cryptos you hold to get to a point where it's worth substantially more than it is today, it's like, I don't know what to tell you, because like, you're early. And just think about this too. And I mentioned this the other day as well. It's worth repeating, though, because I don't talk about this specifically that often either. But XRP community member Frecky, I highlighted this. He shared a tweet when he tagged me, and he said, you know, normally in order to double your money investing in stocks, 7 to 10 years, you can double it. That's a twofold increase. In crypto, in just like 2 to maybe 5 years on the high end, you can tenfold increase your investment to like over 1,000-fold increase invested, and still people are they're panicky about the volatility. The volatility, my friends, is what makes that asymmetric return possible. So yeah, we don't like it when it goes to the downside, but damn, what incredible opportunity. And so he said this is the most asymmetric trade in a generation. True, but I'll also state that this has never happened in the history of mankind, and I'm not convinced that it ever would again. You can only create an asset class like this one time, and it's already happened. And also, I want to highlight just a small piece of this article from the Daily Hodl. They're talking about some comments from chart analyst Nicholas Merton, and I'm a fan of this guy. He's actually one of the first analysts and crypto YouTubers that I came across when I entered the space back in late 2017. It seems like an intelligent guy, friendly dude. He doesn't happen like Ripple and XRP, but like I've said many times, I don't form opinions about people based on whether or not they agree with me about what cryptocurrencies make sense to hold. Like that's just stupid. People be too tribal, man. But anyway, here's a quote from him. Institutions, big buyers who need to build massive positions, love no period better than the one when markets are quiet, kind of stagnant. They're not feeling the euphoria. They love to buy during these discount opportunities. They enter in slowly, they buy into the fear. They're the ones setting the bottoms here, right? So that's why I keep highlighting. It does not make sense. So again, here's the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, 27 out of 100, indicating market participants in fear. That doesn't make any freaking sense to me. And look, I understand at some point eventually when the market's in fear, it will be that time when crypto is going to slide 80%, but we haven't had a euphoric blow-off top, have we? So I don't anticipate this would be the time for that anyway. So yeah, fine, that can happen. But even if that happens, you know what? Maybe things are going to bottom out and then go back up again at some point, because we've already had multiple 80% plus pullbacks over the last 12 years, and wouldn't you know it, this asset class keeps on chugging along. So if that happens, even if you were unfortunate to buy the top or close to the top, then when it goes back down, what do you know? You've got an opportunity again, unless you really don't think that this asset class will ever be worth more in the future than it is today. I'm not in line with that. And so there is an XRP community member who wrote to me on Twitter responding to something else unrelated, but I wanted to highlight this because I thought this is kind of cool. Somebody named Mark O'Keefe wrote to me and said, "In time, we'll be #1," and shared an image here. Here, I'll make this full screen. This is a newspaper clip from Thursday, April 18th, 1963. It's the Mansfield News Journal. So I Googled Mansfield. There's a Mansfield in Ohio, so maybe this is a paper from Ohio. Maybe there's more than one Mansfield, and it's not. I don't know. But I wanted to share just part of it because there really is such a thing as being ahead of the curve. And if you're listening to this video right now, congratulations, you're on the cutting edge of a financial revolution. You really are. And that's me putting it lightly. It's huge. So check this out. Someday, Mansfielders will carry... Oh, yeah, here's the headline. You'll be able to carry phone in pocket in future. That's the headline. You'll be able to carry phone in pocket in future. 1963, folks. That's the year. Someday Mansfielders will carry their telephones in their pockets. Don't expect it to be available tomorrow, though. Frederick Huntsman, telephone company commercial manager, says, this telephone is far in the future, commercially. Right now, it's a laboratory development, and it's workable, allowing the carrier to make and answer calls wherever he may be. Other telephones of the future include a kitchen loudspeaking telephone and a visual image telephone. The kitchen instrument can be used as a regular telephone, a loudspeaking phone if the housewife happens to be busy preparing a meal. I love this old-timey stuff. Or as an intercom station for the home. And there's a picture of the damn thing, too, so I believe this would be some sort of prototype from 1963 of what we know as a cell phone. But there you go, carrying a phone in the pocket. There is such a thing as being on the cutting edge and ahead of your time. And so I'm just telling you, we don't know exactly how things are going to unfold, but even the internet took a long time to figure itself out. Go back to the mid-90s. Like, it existed. Did it look anything like it does today? Try streaming anything comparable to Netflix in 1995. Good luck. Good luck. So it's not there. And it wasn't really clear necessarily which applications would take hold. And so we're all just trying to figure this out, but damn it, XRP is actually taking hold right now. And even in the earliest days of the internet, there were certain companies that really were taking hold. And yeah, fine, most of them were bad company ideas, and they ended up failing. The dot-com bubble, my friends, that's what it was. But some are still here today, and many came after that. And I'm just looking at, in terms of long-term viability, how the hell does it make sense to be scared when you have XRP being globally adopted? It looks invincible at this point, which isn't a guarantee, but it sure as hell looks like it right now, does it not? Now, in the short term, here's the most recent update from chart analyst Credible Crypto. Talking about Bitcoin here. Nothing has changed. Finex bids continue to sit right below us to scoop up any Bitcoin that is being sold at these lows. Funding/premium index remains negative and has been since our liquidation event. Still think we are likely to see relief into the mid-50,000s as the next significant move. Now, note that he does think that after seeing relief to the mid-50,000s, so maybe 55,000 or so, there is going to be one final crash before moving back to the upside and setting all-time highs. That's effectively what his position is. And he does think it would be in the $30,000 to $42,000 range. So we'll see him just, if he's right. And I'll be wondering, too, at this point. I'm still going to be curious. I'm like, is the blockchain backer right, though? Could the blockchain backer be right? And we're in a Bitcoin bear market? I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know. I simply do not. I'm just being honest with you. But even if so, man, we've got some incredible excitement ahead, because if history is to repeat, then the euphoric blow-off top alt season, it's around the corner. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but in terms of structurally, how do things look? Yeah, that's the end of it. And I can't wait. I hold almost 30 different cryptocurrencies, and I'm ready to get mine. You know what I'm saying? As far as a level to look at for XRP in terms of like, when's it actually going to take off? Chart analyst Leb Crypto noted here in this tweet that $1.47 is a key level. And so he's optimistic it's going to hit. He still thinks we're going to see at least $10 XRP, but he thinks more likely $20 to $30 before this market cycle's over. But he said, yeah, it's probably going to take a while, but yes, $1.47. And there you go. And my bet has always been, ever since the XRP bubble fully inflated and popped, that at some point, and I've never said I know when, I don't know when, but my bet has been that at some unknown point in the future, XRP would again hit its all-time high in enterprise discovery. My bet's the same. Nothing has changed it. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Michael Vandepop. More and more comparisons to the price action in June/July and September for Bitcoin. Support still holding nicely while bouncing back swiftly. I think we'll see fast acceleration once $48,000 is cracked. Also, equities bouncing back a little bit. And so that was in the afternoon yesterday. I wanted to highlight that because right now, again, Bitcoin, it is above that level he was citing, $48,702. And we're seeing some green today. The Bitcoin's up over 5% over the last 24 hours. He also tweeted this out. The only thing I hear and see is the fact that people are starting to feel scared and feared about the markets. Not sure whether we're still continuing a bull cycle. Not sure whether buying anything at this point makes sense. That's most often actually the best period to buy. Yeah, and so that I do firmly believe to be true. I think the data supports that. And yes, you can be unfortunate and buy at the top of a bubble, in which case you see everything tank 80%, but it doesn't mean the asset class is going away. It sure as hell doesn't mean that. That's for damn sure. So I don't think it makes sense to purchase Bitcoin now. I'm not going to be doing that. I feel like I'm pretty sufficiently positioned, but if I were going to buy anything, you better believe it would be altcoins. Because any altcoin that hasn't gone up dramatically yet, that's what I'd be looking at, because they're all going to get treated the same. That's to me, that's what the play would be. So I'm not telling you to buy or sell or hold anything. I'm just saying how I'm looking at this. And here's a tweet from a chart analyst Il Capo, who wrote, Bitcoin, downtrend is weakening, forming a falling wedge, expecting a breakout soon. And so again, I do keep seeing this from all analysts. It's just Incredible Crypto goes a step further. He says, yeah, we're going to see the breakout, just as every other analyst I follow says. But he says, just be aware, we're probably going to see $30,000 to $42,000 Bitcoin after that. So, so I hope he's right that it'll pop off after that. Because if the blockchain backer's right, then this is just a crashing pattern that takes a long term to play out. So we will see, right? We're all experiencing and learning about this together. What a historical time to be. But I couldn't feel more optimistic and thankful for this opportunity. It's a once-in-a-species opportunity to be here, and I will not squander it. By getting in and out of positions and emotionally responding. I will not squander this. Hell no. I've been holding XRP since the first day I bought it, which was November 17th of 2017. I've never sold a single XRP, and I will not sell until I'm sufficiently enticed to do so, meaning this thing's got to hit its all-time high and enter price discovery, or I'm not even going to entertain the idea, despite any crash that may come our way. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.